if you bought a self-storage facility, what are the benefits of a cost segregation study? Well, what's going on, investors? My name's Hayden Crabtree, co-founder of Remote Cost Seg and a self-storage investor myself. And today I want to talk to you about what a cost segregation study can do for storage facility owners. So we're here at one of my personal storage facilities. Let's just go through a hypothetical example. Let's say you go out and you buy a self-storage facility, does not matter how big, for $1 million. We have $1 million basis, okay? Then we have to go and we have to take the land value out, because land value is in an asset class of its own. Let's say the land is worth $150,000. That would leave us then with $850,000 of what I like to call depreciable basis. That means if you do no improvements or anything else over the life of owning this property, the government is going to give you $850,000 of write-offs on this property. That's going to happen for whatever reason. The IRS says over 39 years. No matter if the buildings are brand new and 1 year old, just like these buildings are, or even if the buildings were built in the 70s and they're super old, the government says those buildings will last 39 years from the date that you purchased them. So if you had absolutely no improvements, you take the $850,000, you divide it by 39 years, and that would give you your average annual write-off. I don't know that number, but off the top of my head, it's going to be something like a $20,000 write-off a year, I think is what it's going to come out to, okay? Now, you're going to take that as a write-off, not a tax credit. Tax credit is the actual amount of money you pay in taxes. This is a write-off. So that would offset $20,000 of income that you would not have to pay taxes on. And if you pay 37% in taxes, then that's going to save you 37% of $20,000. That's going to be something like $7,400, I think it is, okay? That's how that would work. You don't have to do anything. Now, if you wanted to get fancy, if you had a big tax bill and you wanted to not pay taxes to the government and instead you wanted to take that to buy another storage facility, then this is what you would do. You would do a cost segregation study, and you could do one with my company at Remote Cost Seg, where you go in and you find all the individual components of what you bought for $1 million. And then you try and reconcile that to the $850,000 of depreciable basis you have. So what could we do? Well, in this example, we have buildings, we have asphalt, and we'll turn the cameras over here and we'll show a retention pond that we'll put in. And let's also say at the front of this property, we have a road sign that says storage units for rent. We'll take all of those assets and we're going to identify those assets. Now, most of the assets you're going to be identifying in a storage facility are land improvement assets, 15-year asset classes. So this asphalt in my drive aisles, whether these are asphalt, whether they're concrete, whether they're gravel, whether it's grass, doesn't matter. That is a land improvement that we are going to accelerate and write off. This retention pond, it is an acceleratable item. We could get a tax credit for that. So my company, on average, of all the properties we do, and this is live data, we look at this every single week, on average, we get people 27% of their purchase price or 31% of their depreciable basis, just depending on how you look at the two, as accelerated items. So let's use the 27% example. On average, in $1 million property, we get people $270,000 of accelerated depreciation. So that comes in the form of a write-off, and then let's say you save or pay 37% taxes on that. 37% of $270,000 is something around $100,000 in actual taxes saved. That's money you're not going to pay to the government. You're going to put back in your pocket. All this is taking tax benefits you were already going to get, and instead of taking them over 39 years, little by little each year, you're just going to take as much as possible on the front side. So you can do this with all kinds of properties, but in a self-storage property in particular, the main things that you're going to get accelerated are the land improvements. You're not going to get any sort of special benefit for the buildings itself. That doesn't mean you're not going to be able to depreciate these. They're just not going to be accelerated. The buildings are going to continue to be accelerated over 39 years. So the 15-year items are, again, things like driveways, detention ponds, landscaping, signs you have on your property. All of those are going to get you tax savings. So if you're interested in getting a cost segregation study done on your self-storage property, just like I do on my self-storage properties, contact one of our representatives at the link below. We'll have an absolutely free consultation with you. And if you want to learn more about cost segregation studies in general, check out the rest of our channel.